Do you ever wonder what tools you need on a rig truck and how in the world they all fit in these toolboxes? Today I'm going to show you how they all fit, and if you stay till the end, I'll get you a list of the essential tools you need to put together a rig truck. If you want to become a successful pipeline welder and conquer the traveling lifestyle, make sure and subscribe and hit the bell to get notified whenever I post a new video every Friday. I'm Austin Ross, and I've been pipeline welding for 7 years and worked for over 21 different oil and gas companies. I remember when I bought my first rig truck and bought all the tools to go on it. That's pretty much where all my money went whenever I was in my early 20s. It's a long road, but you don't have to have them all whenever you first get started. Alright, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my rig, and then I'll take you guys around and take a look at it. Alright, so this is the second welding bed I've ever built. We will put a link in the description of the first bed I built if you guys want to check it out. The first one I built, I was doing some different kind of work, chasing drilling rigs and stuff. It was a little more practical for all kinds of work. This rig here I built more simple and more based on like pipeline work, made it more low profile and simple. This pickup here is a 2013 3500 4-wheel drive single cab dually. It's got a 6-inch lift, 35 1250s, and 2-inch spacers in the back. It does have stock wheels that are powder coated, and I've got a set of Toyo Open Country MTs on here right now. It is deleted. A lot of people ask me about that. Other than that, it's pretty much stock. Kind of an old man. I don't get in no hurry or anything like that, so I keep it stock, try to keep it running, that way I can stay busy with little to no issues. I will link a video in the description about why I drive a single cab, and if you have to have one, if you guys want to go check that out. I will also link another video of a review on this weld machine, since I don't have much time to talk about it in this video, if you guys want to check that out. Now let's go ahead and go check out the inside of my cab, and then we'll take a look real quick around the rest of my pickup. Alright, what we have in here is a basic work truck, nothing fancy. It may look good in pictures, but it does show some wear. After all, it is a work truck. I've got WeatherTech floor mats. Absolutely love them. I got the one that went all the way across. I ended up cutting it because it's actually easier, because them floor mats get mud in them a lot, and I like to take them out and dump the mud out of them. I do have a CB. It's just a classic 29 LTD, nothing fancy. As you guys can see, I've got a laptop stand. These are seat saver seat covers. Definitely need new ones. They are warm plumb out, but I do like these seat covers. Got my paper towels hanging up back there with the bungee running from one clothes hanger to the other one. I hang my welding shirts behind my seat here on this one, and I got my hard hat hanging on a makeshift hard hat hanger. It is an automatic 6-speed transmission, manual seats, power locks, power windows. Does have cruise control, and I think that about wraps it up for the inside. Let's go check out this bed. Okay, this is my rod box over here. I built this rod box to hold 4 50-pound box of welding rod. As you can see, I've got 3 in here right now, and then I got some canisters over here. Basic box, nothing fancy. I did want to show you guys this magnet. Any magnet would work, but I like this one because it's a real strong magnet. But I use this for a new box of rod because it's hard to get welding rods out. So you just get a magnet and stick them like that and get a whole handful. A lot easier than trying to pick them out with pliers or your fingers. I did put a little bit of weather stripping around the top here. Some of it's come off, but that helps a lot, putting that little bit of weather stripping. I get asked a lot if I use a rod oven, and I do not, just because the most type of welding that I do is downhill, which is cellulose. This is cellulose rod. The only rod that you would have to have in an oven is low hydrogen, and I don't run just a whole lot of that, so I do not have a rod oven, and I do not carry one on my truck. Got my settling bottle over here. I think it drops in about 18 inches or so. I don't really remember, but low profile once again, like everything else. Got a ice chest up here, just a simple ice chest holder, CB antenna, my slam pole umbrella that I slide right in here between my oxygen bottle and my welding machine, and then the fire extinguisher. I do try to carry a fire extinguisher, safety first. And back here I have a trunk that I incorporated into my bed. I built it to hold 4 regular size fold up Sumner jack stands and then 1 mini one. It'll hold all that, but nowadays I just carry 2 jack stands and I just use it as a catch-all. So it's kind of messy, but I'll let you guys see it here. I hold a 2 5/16 ball hitch, a 2-inch ball hitch, a couple of ratchet straps, like I said, 2 fold-up jack stands. Just got some rock shield in here to lean on. I like this rock shield over a mud board if it ain't too muddy down in a bell hole, but the weld might be low to the ground or on the firing line, wherever, because you can lay on this rock shield and not get as dirty, but be low enough to get to your weld. So that's why I like to carry that piece of rock shield. Got an old shovel in here that I use to like block sparks if we're cutting close to the trucks or whatever. And of course the extension cord. I put some 1.5 inch angle here to kind of sturdy this door. This is 3/16 3/16 plate. I use 3/16 for my deck on top, and that's what this is, and then 2 shocks to hold this door open. That box up there is a catch-all box. I got jumper cables in there. Before I kind of held stuff in here, I put those receiver hitches, those balls, the 2-inch ball and the 2 5/16 ball. I used to put them up there. I got a chain in there, just kind of a catch-all box up there. I've got a BMW turnover ball. We'll take a look at that whenever we look inside the toolboxes to see the lever that I got. It's inside there to release this, to turn it over. Got a backup camera that I took off the pickup originally and put it in here. This is just 2 3/8 pipe with a 3/4 inch washer is all that is, and that camera fit just perfect. Got all LEDs back here, all clear LEDs. The 2 outside ones are my brake lights. Those light up red, and the 2 middle ones right here are reverse lights. They light up clear, obviously. And then 4 2-inch LEDs that light up red as running lights. I also put 4 D-rings on here, 2 in the back and 2 up front. If I was to do it again, I would put a hook in the middle, because there's a lot of times that I need to strap stuff and you can't always go diagonally. I would put a hook in the middle if I was to do it again, or if I was to add to this bed. And I took my stock trailer brakes out of my bumper, my stock bumper, and put it back here. And then this is a add-on that I did here recently. It's a tailgate. Just a piece of 4-inch flat by 3/16 I believe, that I bent and put some cold roll on, and I drilled, I believe that's 1/2 inch cold roll. I drilled a hole over here and a hole over here. That way, whenever I'm on a job, I haul a lot of stuff back here, banding crawler, propane bottle, and anything else that I might end up having to carry, extra boxes of rod and stuff, and working up where the terrain is kind of hilly. You might go up hills and stuff, so to keep stuff from falling off, I like this tailgate, but I like being able to remove it, so this works out pretty good. This is handy step for this truck that sits kind of high. This is just 2-inch pipe. How I made this radius, this is actually a 180 2-inch. I don't even know what you would call this, but it's equivalent to 2 2-inch 90s right here. So 4 2-inch 90s total to build this is what you would need, and then just some 2-inch by 1/4 inch flat back here. Seen better days. This Line-X is good, but it kind of is not so good for this stuff that's got to wrap around, because once you get any kind of tear in the Line-X, it gets in behind there and just kind of starts eating away slowly because it holds in back there. So, but anyway, it's a handy step. I like how big it is. For no more than I pull a trailer, it works out good. It stays in here 85% of the year. I do like that. Super handy. Super duper handy. I've also got these D-rings that I added down here for my safety chains. And then a lot of people ask what this is. This is a static strip. Some companies require you to have these to keep your truck grounded. Safety thing. All right, we're almost ready to look inside the toolboxes. Comment the word tools in the comments below if you guys are ready. All right, the last thing before we get to the toolboxes, I'm gonna show you guys my leads. I've got 125 foot of Stinger, 125 foot of ground when I started. The ground's actually shorter now. And 125 foot of remote cable. And I've got a Tidweld hose reel. I bought it with 150 foot of continuous hose on it. I believe it's the 3/16 size. It's the smaller hose out of the 2 most common ones that you see. This is my lead cover right here. Again, real basic. Got 4 holes in it to where you can stick your fingers in and pick it up. And there's 2 little tabs, 1/4 inch tabs that come up where you can lock it. I've got an SAE 300 2012 model. Like I said, I'll link a video in the description so you guys can check that out, the review that I did on it. And my oxygen bottle is right here. Very basic, just a basic box, simple hole. I lock it in by, I've got a bolt back here, right here in the corner that I use, an 1 1/8" socket. Fits down in there, and that's how that stays secure. Up here is where I keep my rod bucket, right here behind my hose reel between my ice chest. That way it doesn't clutter up the back of my pickup, saves room back there. I keep my 4-foot level up here. It's magnetized, so it just stays right there. And then I've got a 4-foot straight edge and then a 4-foot square that folds up. A lot of people ask about this machete. The reason a lot of pipeline welders carry a machete on their truck is mostly for rehab work. To my knowledge, that's the only reason I know anybody to carry it. Back in the day, them old pipelines that are in the ground, whenever you're doing maintenance on them, whenever you have to make a cut or something, you use that machete to scrape that old tar off. They used to use old hot tar to coat the pipe, and that's just what they use to scrape it off so they can work on it, make a cut or anything, weld on it. So that's what the machete's for. And I got a ladder that I just slide right in here behind my machine, and my mud board just sits right behind it. Stays on there, don't have any issues. And then my fuel, this is the stock fuel cap. I just took off my stock bed and I incorporated it here. All right, let's look at these toolboxes. We'll get started with this passenger side box. This is mainly the helper's box, is the way I usually set up my truck beds whenever I build them. Got grinders down in here, keep my remote over here. Got 3 rods sticking up right here to hold sanding discs, wire wheels, grinding discs. Got some cutting discs down there. Kind of a catch-all down underneath them grinders. I've got a bottle jack down there. My oxygen and acetylene caps I keep down in there. Looks like I got an ultra clamp down in there for whenever I'm fabricating on small pipe. I do keep a cordless grinder to do back welding on jobs where they require us to back weld on bigger pipe. A couple of clamps down there in that deep part. Got a hose repair kit. Boy, it is a mess right now, and just anything else over here that a helper needs, like strikers, files, markers to mark on the pipe, mark our stencil. Alrighty, let's go check out the driver's side. Alright, and over here on the driver's side we have all kinds of things. I got tools, pliers, little socket set. I've got a big socket set over here, tape measure, also a striker. I carry my hand torch over here. I got a rod canister right here that I keep a branch template in to try to keep it nice, to make it last longer. And then spacing bands I keep over here. Any kind of fabrication tools, 2-hole pins, combination square, center finder. Torch tips are over here, torch tip cleaners. I also keep my clear lenses in this box. 100-foot tape. Got a barrel torch, long barrel, short barrel, donut. You use a barrel torch in this on a banding crawler type of cutting machine. I like to keep 2 2-foot framing squares for fabrication. Got a 2-foot level right here, 3-pound hammer. Keep my pancake over here in this deep part. Gloves, protective gear, knee pad, arm pad. Also got some files over here. And I carry this tool set. Not my favorite place for it, but I do carry it on here in case anything happens. Got a few torpedo levels in here. This box ends up being kind of a catch-all also, but I did want to show you guys this handle right here. This is what I pull to release my BMW turnover ball. Just pull it out and twist it, and it stays while I can turn over my ball. I put these dividers in here to kind of keep everything separate. I do wish it was a little bit deeper, but not too much deeper, because if you get too much deeper in a belly box, you kind of tend to cover stuff up. So this is 4 inches deep right here. So I think that is going to be it. Alright, there y'all have it. A look inside my toolboxes, and it's a lot of tools. I know it took me a lot of years to acquire all these tools. I've got this plus some. I used to have 2 welding trucks. Don't feel like you have to have all these whenever you first start. Click the link in the description to get my list of Rig Welder starter tools. This is a condensed list of tools that will allow you to get going without breaking the bank. I also included my favorite brands, that way you don't waste your hard-earned money on junk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notifications. If you like this video or found it helpful, please share it with a friend. Comment below and let me know what you're making room for on your custom bed. And let me know if you want me to do a video on my plans for my next bed. Alright, if you guys stuck around last week, you guys know I am giving away a sticker pack from Industrial Tradition, and the winner of the sticker pack is Taylor Rourke. I hope I'm saying that right, Taylor. You are the winner. This is your comment right here. If you would, please email me at aroswelding@gmail.com so I can get your address and we can get that sticker pack sent out to you. And this week I'm giving away a Industrial Tradition coffee mug. This one here, if you guys notice me carrying it around today. So comment the word coffee in the comments below for your chance to win a Industrial Tradition coffee mug. Again, I will announce the winner at the end of the video next week. Good luck, thanks for watching, and remember, learn something every day. We'll see you next Friday.